Hey, welcome. My name is Brianna, Be the Killer, Chef Boy, or Bree, Blazing Bree, aka Muscle Mommy. I am back with another video, and here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about something that I've really wanted to talk about, but for a long time. But the first thing I want to get into is like three things that I'm grateful for, because I think I'm gonna open up with like a symbol of gratitude in every video, every like in-depth video. Three things I'm grateful for today would probably be my gifts and talents. Another thing that I'm grateful for is a sound mind and discerning mind. And I'm grateful for my body for literally keeping me alive for this long. Considering all the things that I've done in the past, very, very grateful that I'm alive. I put myself in near-death situations, I'd probably say at least 4 times. And God has kept me alive through like all of them. Yeah! Just kidding. No, I'm so serious. Like, I definitely put myself in danger. A lot of times. Okay. So today I'm talking about rage. Let's find out the true definition of rage though, because that's important that I need to get the definition. An intense, uncontrollable, and often violent emotion of extreme anger or fury. Okay, let's admit it. Me growing up as a kid, I never had the opportunity to really express my rage in ways, so I internalized a lot of this uncontrollable rage, and I just let it fester because growing up, I've seen domestic violence and abuse in my household. My mom was a victim of that, and may she rest in peace. She passed away in 2023. But I know that the things that she went through, in a sense, would be towards my knowledge and capabilities of the things that I've learned and the things that I've seen has also given me rage. I mean, if I'm being really honest, at some point I was like, oh, I want to kill him so bad. Like, I was like homicidal thoughts, which is like, I don't think that's normal for like someone in middle school. Um, so right about a time you felt intense anger or rage, what triggered those emotions? How did you handle? This wasn't even something I was gonna talk about, but the moment his name, well, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm gonna change his name. I'm gonna say his name is Charles, right? His name is Charles. He was an older dude. He was like really worthless, actually. He had a whole family, and like he would drive my mom's car, and he'd be like swerving, switching lanes, and like being just ridiculous. And I was in the back seat. I remember I was like emo as fuck. I remember the exact song I was singing. I was listening to Drake, just like in my feelings for real, and like I was listening to Days in the East. I was like on my emo shit, and then I remember like I was in the back seat and he was like swerving lanes and like he was just taunting her and me, I guess. I think like for the most part he was like doing it to make me nervous or something. And I was like, I wish I could just blow this car up right now. But seeing that and also seeing um my mom's baby father, I'm gonna change his name. I'm gonna call him Derek. Derek was basically like, he was hunching on her and he had a wife. And then my mom popped out 2 kids, which are my little brothers. Love them to life. But again, the whole dynamic between them and him and my mom had me just angry. Like, why would you do that? Like, and being the eldest daughter for a long time, for like, what? For like 14 years, I had a lot of things come to me easy. I had my way for the most part. And when my two brothers came along from a child out of wedlock, it's just like, yo, what's up with that? And I was just so angry. Again, a lot of these moments of anger are rooted in like the concept, like the concept of the relationships my mom had with men. Um, that's even like with my own father. Like a lot of my anger and uncontrollable rage, that I still feel it tight. Like I still feel it right here, and I know it's not good for me. But a lot of this rage has come from my mom's dynamics with male partnerships. And I think in a sense, my mom even had like a stalker at one point. Like he was stalking her, and he was like trying to get with her so bad, and then he tried to set me up with his son. And I'm like, you're freaking gross. You're disgusting. Leave me alone. It was scary. But like that was middle school for me. Like I don't think this is normal. I don't think this is normal. And it was like, yo, okay. And what else? What else? I was like, yo. And I think that's what like kickstarted my disdain for men. Cause like, who is really gonna protect the black woman? Like my own mother was abused. And then I was subject to witnessing that abuse. Even growing up in church, like the elders were like touching on younger kids, and like that's what I saw and that's what I was used to. Like I thought that was just normal. That's not even like I don't think that's normal though. But getting out of that mentality that like things are just supposed to happen to you for it to happen, or to build character or whatever, like coming out of that mindset and just accepting that was fucked up and that shouldn't have happened. But I'm not gonna wallow in the, oh, woe is me. Like I'm still alive. Like I have options. As long I'm literally breathing right now and I have options. A lot of people don't get to survive that. Let's see. So going into what I actually wrote down, I have had anger and rage for almost all my life, through my family lacking reciprocity, my friends lacking emotional depth, my lovers lacking basic human decency, my community putting all kinds of pressure on my gifts. Let's like rewind, because like that's a lot. So going into my family lacking reciprocity, I think the way they know how to support me and the way I want to be supported are two totally different things. I I see like financial assistance isn't something that is 100%. Like of course it's something I need, but like to what extent? To like, of course, like if I'm whatever, but emotional depth and consistency is something that I needed, and it was never given to me. Like I've seen abuse in my family. I've seen DV in my family, so I just thought that shit was normal. Like I would literally just be like, what the fuck? And then just like everyone would just go about their day, and I'm like, oh. Like it was a lot. And yeah. My friends lacking emotional depth, like I would be the advisor, whether it's the spiritual advisor or the style advisor. People would ask me, oh, how does this look? How does this look? How do I look? This is what da 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 da. Like I should be charging for this shit. But no, I would just do it out the goodness of my own heart, and it would be like I'm not getting the same emotional love or consistency. And I guess in a sense, I lost some friends. And I'll be totally okay with that, because if they're not allowed to hold space, and if they're not able to hold space for everything I come with, then that's also okay. And I'm okay with being that person that's seen as doing too much, or because growing up as a kid, I was always doing too much. Like I was a theater kid. I was dramatic as fuck. But that's also like, I feel like, okay, in a sense that like I have a certain personality about me, that people would come into my life and they would use my personality to get me to be their friend. And that was just so weird. Like, why would you do that? That's kind of ghetto. But hey, and like people would deliberately like say, "Oh, I'm not copying you," and then literally copy me. And it's not like I'm trying to be like anyone else. It's like when I see people deliberately copying me and making me feel like invalidated or uncomfortable or making me think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I've like the things that I've went through, the things that I have went through and the things that what I knew. Yes, I've had like mental health breaks before. That's something that's like something that's like something that I'll admit. Like I was hospitalized twice and it's something that I don't even think I'm ready to really talk about everything that went down in there, but that's not normal. And the things that I went through is not normal. But you have to go through some shit to come out on the other side more triumphant and more wise, I'd say. Let's see. My lover's lacking basic human decency. Like, at this point, I'm gonna be celibate. Cause not gonna lie, the things that I went through had no. I don't even want to talk about it, yo. Like, the way that life was set up for me to like, and full accountability, I'm my own accountability partner because I let that happen. I stayed longer than I needed to. I lied to myself. I thought I was crazy. No, I wasn't crazy. Like, the things happened that I was suspicious of that did happen. Hey, I'm gonna just leave it where it's at. Accountability is taking accountability of the things that I did and the things that I allowed. And I'm using those to work on myself for the person who deserves me and will cherish me. Yeah. My community putting all kinds of pressure on my gifts. Okay, story time. There is a person who I invited, a male, to an event that I noticed that once I invited him into a space, I feel like energetically I started leaking a little. And of course it's like, wow, inviting male, like this is should be a whole nother talk, but inviting males to women-led spaces can be tricky because you want to be inclusive and you want to have people feel supported, but at the same time it's like, excuse whatever that is. Having people support people and genuinely like mean it, of course it's not like, anyway, I noticed that when I invited him into spaces like that, I noticed like a change in my mindset. But I'm not gonna put the place on blame on anyone because of course it's me too. Like, I allowed things to happen, but I would never do that again. And that's why inviting male people into female-led spaces can be really tricky because you never really know. Let's see. What's next? Yeah, I don't want a city boy, guys. I want a country boy. I want a country boy, actually. Because I think being the person who I am, being a neurodivergent, being someone who is into holistic wellness and medicine, like, okay, two different, like, in two parallel universes, there's a guy that's smoking and drinking and cheating and doing drugs and on some weird, like, nutty stuff. And then there's a country boy that's building houses, that may smoke a little ganja every now and then, that's owning some land. It's real scrunk. That's real lovey and loving. And if you have like The perfect balance is like a masculine man that's in touch with his femininity. That's a country boy. Need that. Need that. Y'all can keep them city boys. Like, y'all are, they're weird. I've had enough of them. And I'm ready to actually go after what I want. Which is like, again, community is number one, first of all, because I need my soul tribe. Like, my soul tribe is what I need. I haven't found my soul tribe just yet. But, let's see. What else? Let's keep going. Because, okay. What triggered these emotions? These emotions are triggered by literally my childhood work. This is like the childhood work that I had to do. I've done shadow work at like 19 and 20, and now I have to do this at 23, like with this mindset, because the moment I stopped doing shadow work was the moment things started falling to crap and I started going for anything. I see investing but no return. I feel desired but not chosen. I feel seen but not understood. I feel wanted but not needed. The triggers of being the other since middle school. Again, middle school has done a number on me. Do you I don't think people understand. Okay, so basically, I had this light-skinned best friend, right? And she would play basketball. She was like so cool. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're friends. Oh my god, best friends. And we had a group of like 4 people. And not gonna lie, I love that W friend group. And not gonna lie. Okay, she dated her boyfriend. And then I had a crush on his best friend because it was 4 of us. And then I forgot the order, but we both dated both of the best friends. And it was so funny because even then I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, I have some of the cutest boys. I'm dating the cutest boys, but I still felt like less than. And in middle school, I was like, dang, is it because she's light skinned and she's getting all this attention? But I wasn't even jealous because I really loved her and I loved being her friend. We would have some funny ass inside jokes, but it was giving Martin. It was that Martin show where it's Pam and Gina, and I felt really Pammed out. But there was nothing wrong with Pam because she was funny as fuck and she was cool. But also, it's everyone wanted her to be submissive, and that's why they compared her to animals and stuff. There's nothing wrong with being an animal, not gonna lie. Having your little animalistic side, not gonna lie, that's okay. Everyone can have that, but it gets to a point. Anyway, stop with the tangent. I'm sorry. Basically, I felt oh my gosh, what does she have that I don't? Is it her long hair? Is it her light-skinnedness? Is it her she was a little bit I wouldn't say she was thick, but she was a little bit bigger than me. I was like, what does she have that I don't have? And I think that's the root of jealousy that kind of pulled something out of me. And I think the jealousy is what made me uglier inside. As just spiritually, I think it made me feel not good. Not gonna lie, I may or may not. There were boys in middle school that were in gangs. Yes, in middle school. I had not really best friend, but I had a friend. Her name is, I'm gonna call her China. So China, basically, she was that girl that I looked at her, I was like, yo, she's that girl. She was wearing joggers. She had hair to her shoulders. She was a black girl. And she had skin like me, brown skin. And she had really nice eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be your friend. And then we were friends. And then she put me on Amigos and all that hood, the rich N-word timeline. She got me on a Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, Comethazine, all of those rappers and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. I am so glad to be your friend. And I think she was in a gang, not gonna lie. I don't think I really clocked it until today, actually. But she'd be wearing those snapbacks and those ways she would dress, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. I want to be like you. I think she was in a gang. She could have been a blood. I don't know. I have no idea. But there's a great chance that she was in a gang and I had no idea and I wanted to be like her so bad. Anyways, the reason why I brought up this whole dynamic is because she would always hang out with dudes and she would have all these guy friends and they would be like so cool. I would be like, look at them like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cool. Like, what do you guys do in your free time? No idea what they'd be doing in their free time. I know that they would, because I had friends that I grew up with. Um, I had no idea what they did in their free time. Maybe I shouldn't want to know. None of my business. None of my business. But not gonna lie, yeah, no. China, she was so dope. I thought she was so cool. And she would just hang out with all the dudes and like they'd be so cool. Like they'd be posted up and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, guys, I want to be a part of your club. Um, so yeah, the trigger of being at the other since middle school, like I always felt ostracized. Like there would be this one guy, that literally like put his on the bus, put his hand on my forehead and said I had a 5 head. I mean, yes, I know it's true, but why would you do that? And that'd be the same guy that would try to sleep with me. I'm like, oh my God. Y'all gonna bully me and then lust after me? This is not normal. I felt like this has been happening to me for a while and I was like, oh my God, what? Again, being like feeling like the other, the outsider, the outcast, the black sheep, whatever. Like, why is this always happening to me? And I think it's been slowly like messing with my mind and giving me this rage that made me like feel that way. Okay, what's next? The triggers of not having standards and having boundaries violated. That speaks for itself. I guess the standard is what I make it, and I guess it's what I accepted, and that's what having my boundaries violated and still giving chances is what put me in that position and made me feel less than. And I guess that's when I started to wake up my like I woke something up in me recently that I don't want to put to bed. And it feels good. It feels amazing. Amazing in the sense to where like if I see the pattern, pattern recognition is gonna be such a perfect tool for me and I can't wait to keep using it because it's something that I never want to forget. Okay. The triggers of blatantly lying to my face. Everybody and their mama think they want to lie to me and think it won't get back to me. I think it's okay because like at the end of the day, if you want to lie to me and like not face the consequences of lying to me, then whatever. I'll leave that to God. I'm not the one getting revenge. God knows what he's doing, and I know for a fact that my gifts and my talents and my vulnerability and the exploitation of all of that will not go unseen. The triggers of gaslighting me and manipulating me. I've definitely done some manipulation. But not intentionally, if that makes sense. I have not let my trauma from childhood go. And I haven't let my trauma heal itself before getting into new dynamics and situations and whatever, and friendships. Which means I have to like really get on my Zoom this year. And there's absolutely absolutely no kind of nothing. No kind of nothing that's gonna allow me to continue to feel the way I felt since a child. Cause if I knew what I knew back then, I swear I would have been different. But there's no point of like going back in time and trying to fix things and trying to like feel different things and like trying to feel accepted and validated and desired and appreciated, and it's gonna be a lot more internalized. Um, Triggers of treating me like a person who is worthy, undeserving, or worthless. That's something that's really important because at one point I thought I was an ain't shit ass person. And now it feels like a part of me is waking up and it feels juicy. It feels wonderful. It feels potent. The potency is starting to feel like how it feels. And I'm so excited. Yeah. Practicing celibacy, practicing internal work, not gonna lie, has those two things have changed my life already, and I'm very happy. I think it took back weeks of depression and woe is me, victim mentality, feeling sorry for myself behavior, because I put myself in situations that I probably wouldn't have made it out alive in if it weren't for my own discernment. Um Gratitude always to the Most High God, because I personally feel like if this was anybody else, anybody else, they would have offed themselves a long time ago. The reason I'm still here, even like the reason why I'm still here, is because like I have people to help and I have people to like really help go through things and grow through things that I have been through, so people don't have to do the same. Like, if my life has to be an example, then I would gladly have it be an example, because I feel like what God is teaching me at this moment is that not everything that happens to you has to be a punishment. Like, it's a lesson, and it's a major, it's a major example of how you can be a light to other people and how you can serve other people. Which means that's concluding my 27-minute talk. And I hope this has brought you some kind of gem, some kind of like personal development or some insight or something that you felt like you connected with. Please let me know, because personally, I've felt for the longest that my story and my life can be a beacon for someone else. And I'm 100% grateful if anybody has at least gotten like a of smidge of enlightenment. And this is me signing off. I love y'all.